Hi, I'm Mike Wynn from Plight to Freedom, and today I'm going to teach you how to make your very own Thera-Band Tarp Tensioner. So you may be asking yourself, what is a tarp tensioner and why do I need one? Well, there are two reasons why. The first one being is if you have a nylon tarp such as this one, after dew or rain, you may notice your tarp starting to sag a little bit. Well, the purpose of a tarp tensioner is to compensate for that sagginess by the elasticity pulling on itself and keeping the tarp taut. The second reason is during heavy winds. The elasticity will allow your tarp to move around a little freely without worry about ripping out your grommets. Here's how it works. You attach your tarp tensioner to your grommet and then basically pull it out to the maximum length of the cord on the inside and then tie it off. Okay, before we get this project started, we need a few building materials. First, we're going to need a Thera-Band. Next, we're going to need some thin, strong cordage for your guidelines, something thin enough to fit within the tubing. Next, cordage for binding or whipping, a marker, a pair of scissors, pliers or a multi-tool, a clamp, a hammer and nails, and a ruler. First, I nailed 2 nails 19 inches apart in wood to build a rack so I could firmly hold my tarp tensioner in place. Next, I measured the Thera-Band and marked it at 8 inches, and then proceeded to cut. Now, using the same cordage you would use for a guideline, take one end of it and make about a 2-inch bite. From here, we're going to tie a figure 8 loop. Go over, behind, and feed the bite through the loop. Pull it tight, and then measure it to see if it's about 2 inches. Now, feed the standing end through the tube, and on the opposite end, you're going to tie another figure 8 loop. You'll find that this is much easier than trying to push a knot through the tube. Now comes the fun part of pushing the tube over the knot. I might suggest now using gloves that will allow you to get a firm grip, because this was a little difficult to do. I found that it was easier if I put the loops over the nails first, and with both hands, push or pull the tubing over the knot. I would do this until I had about a 1-inch clearance of tubing beyond the knot. Now cut some lashing. And we're going to do a whipping on the outside part of the knot. Make a bite, take the working end, and wrap it around as tight as you can 4 or 5 times. Now take the working end and feed it through the bite. Grab the working and standing ends and pull in opposite directions to tighten. And pull the knots underneath the lashing. Cut it. And with your pliers, peel the end over the lashing. This is a little difficult, so I definitely recommend using pliers, but be careful, you could rip the tubing. From here, we're going to stretch the tubing to the opposite knot. It's easier if you take the loop off the nail, and I found that if I relaxed the tubing 2 or 3 times while pulling it over the knot, it made it a little easier. Now put the loop over the nail again, grab your clamp and clamp it down, and we're going to do another whipping on the outside of the knot. Again, make another bite and wrap the working end as tightly as you can around it 4 or 5 times. Now, put the working end through the bight. Pull the working and standing ends in opposite direction while pulling the knot underneath the lashing. Remove, cut, and with your pliers, pull the tip over the lashing. And there you go. Hey, thanks for watching. If you found this information to be useful at all, please like and subscribe. You can also check out my website, plighttofreedom.com, for more plant identification use, and in the future I'll be doing more instructionals on how to hammock camp. As always, keep your eyes and ears open and your powder dry.